Going natural was a very long process for me. Shaving your hair off and starting all over again is a very difficult thing to do, and it can be traumatic if you're not ready. When I was a kid, my mom used to press my hair with a comb, a hot comb that you put on the stove. It's a pressing comb or a hot comb. You get it hot, you take it, and then you run it through your hair and it makes your hair straight. This comb is the bane of my existence. I hate this thing. I have always hated it, and I always will hate it. I think it's a horrible invention. It's torture. It fries your hair to death. Enough of that. At first it was fine, because I was little and I didn't know any better. But then as I got older, I started noticing that my white friends and my Asian friends and my Mexican friends, like all the girls had this like really long, straight hair. And my hair was very, very short. And it wouldn't grow past my shoulders. I couldn't get it to grow no matter what I did. And, I'd ask my mom, like, how come my hair doesn't look like my friends? And she'd say stuff like, well, we have that inward hair, or, black people, we got the short end of the stick when it comes to hair. And, I love my mom to death. She's an amazing person, but when it comes to hair, she just taught me all the wrong things. Just to wash it, washing, conditioning, drying, and then straightening would take an entire day. And it was so painful. It hurt so bad that I would literally be sitting there in tears, crying, like begging her to stop. And I remember one time going and asking her, can we just leave my hair like this? We had just washed it and it was all curly and it was like in an afro. And I was like, Mom, just please let me just wear my hair like this, I'm fine with it. And she was like, no, you can't go out looking like that. And I was like, it just crushed me, it hurt. It hurt really bad. It hurt my feelings because from a young age, it made me feel like something was wrong with me. Like I wasn't as good as other people because, I had this like problem hair. And so I'd get extensions or braids or whatever you want to call them. She'd do cornrows. And those things would give me like a temporary relief because I could pretend my hair was long for a little while. But reality would come back in a month or two when I'd have to take them out and realize, oh yeah, I still have, nappy hair. I had to stop. I knew I couldn't go on anymore. But I didn't know how. So fast forward a little bit, I'm older. I'm like, I think I was like 20. I was like 20, still doing the straightening, slathering my hair with grease. It wasn't working, and I was like, you know what? I want to try a relaxer. So I think I was like 24. I was like 24. My mom did the relaxer on me, and the first time we did it, it didn't turn out like bone straight, but I could still get it, pretty straight with this freaking thing. This, we could still get it pretty straight, but it wouldn't get like completely straight. We still had to, And the first time we did it, it was fine. I thought, oh my God, my problems are solved. But as time went on, I'd get the relaxer I think we did it like every 8 weeks. Because they say to wait 6 to 8 weeks. And I was like, I'll wait 8 to be safe. And you're only supposed to relax your new growth. But you know what? That's really hard to do. It's really hard to put something in the root of your hair and not end up with it on the ends. Because when you rinse it out, it's gonna get on the ends, So we kept on relaxing. I did it for like a year, and my hair got so weak and so fragile. It just broke completely off. I went from my hair was like just grazing my collarbones, and I went from that to it being up to my ears in like a year and a half. Like I could barely pull it into a bun. Like I could just barely get it into a bun. And it was so depressing. It was like the worst thing ever. And then I decided, you know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to shave my hair off and start over. And my intention was to shave it off, start over, and then like relax again. So I go to YouTube, and this is like, it's like 2007. And I go to YouTube, and YouTube is still relatively new at that time. And there weren't a lot of girls on there talking about their hair at that time. But there was one girl in particular, she called herself Naja Face, Aisha Fleary. She called herself Naja Face, and she was one of the first girls that I saw on YouTube talking about her hair. And at the time, her hair was really short. She had like a teeny weeny fro, and it was really cute. And she was talking about her trials with the pressing comb and, you know, relaxers and her hair breaking off and falling out. And she'd gone through everything I had gone through, and I was like, oh my God, I'm not alone. There's somebody else out there. What she did was she did a big chop, which she shaved her hair off completely and just let it grow. She started over. And I was mortified when I heard that. I was like, I'm not going to shave my head and walk around looking like a guy. Like, no way. You know, there was no way I wanted to do that. But, you know, I kept watching her videos, and I was like, man, maybe I should do that. I don't know. I wasn't sure. I was really scared. I was like, what if my head shaped funny? And she covered all the things that I was scared of, you know, looking like a male, having a weird shaped head, or like some funky thing going on that would just embarrass me. But she did it, and she talked about transitioning, which she didn't really believe in. She was like, no, don't transition, just cut it off, just, you know, like a band-aid, just rip it off and just get it done. And I was scared. I mean, I didn't want to do that. I was like, transitioning sounds good, but I was like, no, because I have all this hair on my head that's like dead, and I just need to get rid of it. And I was really scared. And then I talked to my mom about it, and she was so against it. She looked at me like I was crazy. She was like, why do you want to shave your head and walk around bald-headed? And she was so against it. She did not want me to shave my head. But I was like, no, I have to do it. And I think I started watching her videos like around March 2007. And it took me from March until December to muster up the courage to shave my head. And I remember it was New Year's Eve 2007, and I was at work, and at the time I worked at KFC, and I was at work, and I was working, and I was getting off early that night because I was going to hang out with my friends. And the whole time I was at work, I was just thinking about my hair, and I was thinking, and I was like, you know what? I just have to do it. I have to do it. And I was at a point where I felt like, you know, a new year is coming. It's a fresh start. People do crazy things on New Year's Eve. People start crazy things at the beginning of the year, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna lose 1,000 pounds, or I'm gonna travel across the world, or whatever crazy thing they want to do. And I was like, this will be my crazy thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to shave my head. So I came home from work, and I told my dad, I said, Dad, I want you to shave my head. And he was like, okay. And he got his clippers and he shaved it, and we were done. And my mom was like, she was just standing there the whole time looking at us, and she was really mad, and she's like, I can't believe you're doing this. What were you thinking? I can't believe you. And I was like, Mom, I have to. I have to do it. So then we did it, and my head wasn't shaped funny or anything. And, everything that Naja Face said about shaving your head, it was true. She was like, it's an amazing feeling. She's like, I know you might not like how you look right now, but hair grows. Hair grows. And she said, just the feeling of being bald, everybody needs to experience it at least one time in their lives. And why not let this be the one time, I shaved it, and I would take a shower and just let the water hit my head, and it felt so good. It was amazing. It was, your scalp is like a whole different animal. I can't even explain. Like, the water just felt like it was going into my body. Like, your scalp is just so sensitive to everything, because you have hair on your head and you can't really get to it. But when it's shaved, you can go in there and just like feel the whole thing, and it feels amazing. And I'd walk outside. It was January, so it was kind of cold. And I'd walk outside, and the cool air would hit my head, and I'd get that chill, and I could tell exactly where the wind was coming from. Like right now, if I walked out and the wind was blowing, I wouldn't really know where the wind was coming from. But when my head was bald, I could tell you, oh, the wind's coming from the back, or it's coming from the left. I just knew, because I could feel everything. Like, wearing a beanie felt just crazy. Sleeping on a pillow, rubbing my head like on a pillow was just crazy. Like, I would rub things on my head just to feel them, because you touch stuff with your hands all day long, but then feeling things with your bald head is just, it's a new kind of feeling. And I would recommend that for somebody who really wanted to start over with fresh hair. Just cut out the damage and just get rid of it. You don't need it. Here I am, 5 years later. My hair is down to my bra strap. The longest piece that I measured, I think, was like 17 and a half inches. It was pretty long. It's pretty long now. And I've made a ton of mistakes along the way that I thought I would never recover from. But here I am with hair down to my bra strap. And as for hair type, I have a couple of different textures, I think, because my hair is looser. It's looser in the back than it is on top. But you can see that it's like really, like, extremely coiled. So I pretty much have 4C hair, because there's no pattern. It's just, it shrinks a lot, These are my bangs, by the way. It looks like I have an afro puff sitting on top of my head, but it's my bangs. I cut my bangs because they were too long, and they went like onto my chest, but now they go like underneath my nose, and then I just have the rest like twisted and pulled back into a bun. So yeah, that's my hair. That's what it looks like. Yeah. That's my natural hair story. Update for my mom, who was so against me going natural. She went natural. I think like 2 years ago. She shaved her head, and because she saw the growth and the change in my hair, and she was like, you know what? Maybe you were right all along. So I actually brought her over to the dark side. I have all the pictures of my hair are on my Facebook page, and there's a link, so click that. Bye.